आज के इस वीडियो लेक्चर में हम हरियाणा जुडिशियल सर्विस प्री एग्जामिनेशन के बारे में बात करेंगे। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट से। क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट में दिया गया है, द डेफिनेशन ऑफ विक्टिम हैव बीन इंसर्टेड इन सीआरपीसी इन। सो ईयर पूछा गया है कि कब इंसर्ट की गई थी, तो 2009 में करी गई थी। सेक्शन 2WA deals with victim. Victim means a person who has suffered any loss or injury caused by reason of the act of omission for which the accused person has been charged, and the expression victim include his or her guardian or legal heir. Next है सेक्शन नंबर 27 ऑफ CRPC डील्स विद, तो ये डील करता है ट्रायल ऑफ जुवेनाइल से। Section 27 of the CRPC deals with the jurisdiction in the case of juvenile. Next, preventive action of police has been discussed under preventive action of police. ये है chapter number 11 of CRPC. The Code of Criminal Procedure chapter 11 deals with the preventive action of the police. तो ये क्वेश्चंस हैं, सारे स्टैटिक क्वेश्चन होते हैं और रिपीट होते रहते हैं सारे एग्जाम्स में। अगला क्वेश्चन है सेक्शन 166A ऑफ CRPC डील्स विद, इट डील्स विद इन्वेस्टिगेशन आउटसाइड इंडिया। नेक्स्ट है वुमन डिटेन्ड बिलो द एज ऑफ 18 ईयर शैल बी सेंट टू रिमांड होम। 166A ये देखेंगे CRPC का, तो वहाँ पे लिखा गया है ये। अगला है केस डायरी हैज़ बीन डिस्कस्ड अंडर विच सेक्शन, सेक्शन 172 of CRPC. The principle of speedy trial and the limitation period of completing the trial of certain cases has been provided under section 309 of CRPC. Next है at what stage of the trial prosecution of any person can be withdrawn with the consent of the court. तो इसका आंसर होगा at any time before the pronouncement of prosecution witness. और ये दिया है 321 CRPC में। Application for plea bargaining may be filed by the accused, ये गिवन है सबसेक्शन 1 ऑफ सेक्शन 265B. A person accused of an offence may file an application for plea bargaining in the court in which such offence is pending for trial. Section 394 of CRPC provides the procedure relating to abatement of appeal. Abatement of appeals. Subsection 1st of section 394 deals with the abatement of appeals. Every other appeal under section 377 or section 378 shall finally abate on the death of the accused. Commutation of a death sentence on a pregnant woman is provided under 416 of CRPC. In 416 of CRPC, it is given that if a woman sentenced to death is found to be pregnant, the High Court shall commute the sentence to imprisonment for life. Next है can proceed under section 340 of the CRPC and hold a preliminary inquiry, civil court, revenue court and criminal court. तो तीनों ही कर सकते हैं, फर्स्ट, सेकेंड एंड थर्ड। सेक्शन नंबर यहाँ पे दिया है, पूछा है कि CRPC का कौन सा सेक्शन डील करता है पावर ऑफ मजिस्ट्रेट टू अरेस्ट। 44 आंसर होगा। सबसेक्शन फर्स्ट ऑफ सेक्शन 44 ऑफ द कोड डील्स विद अरेस्ट बाय मजिस्ट्रेट। तो ये क्वेश्चन बहुत रिपीट होता है, 44 बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगला है, इट इज़ मैंडेटरी टू प्रोड्यूस द पर्सन अरेस्टेड बिफोर द मजिस्ट्रेट विद इन 24 आवर ऑफ हिज अरेस्ट अंडर विच सेक्शन? अंडर 57 ऑफ CRPC। Under CRPC, imprisonment in default of payment of fine can be awarded in addition to the substantive sentence imposed। इसके लिए देखना पड़ेगा 30 CRPC, sentence of imprisonment in default of fine। Under CRPC, the period of limitation for taking cognizance of an offence shall be 3 years. If the offence is punishable with imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year but not exceeding 3 years, the content of document may be proved either by preliminary or secondary evidence। The following document are public documents। ऑप्शंस यहाँ पे गिवन है, तो 18 का जो है उसमें होगा document forming the act or records of the act of the sovereign authority or official bodies and tribunals and the public officer, legislative, judicial and executive of any part of India or of the Commonwealth of or of a foreign country, public record kept in any state of the private document both A and B, only document maintained by legislative, judiciary and executive in India। तो ये तो गलत है, एंड A एंड B आंसर हो जाएगा। इसके लिए हमें देखना है सेक्शन 74 ऑफ इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट। इम्पोर्टेंट है, काफ़ी बार क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है। When the question is whether a man is alive or dead and it is shown that he was alive within 30 years, the burden of proving that he is dead is on the person who affirmed it। ये 107 ऑफ इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट में दिया गया है। अगला है, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन द एक्सप्रेशन कोर्ट अंडर द इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट? आर्बिट्रेटर है, ये इसमें इंक्लूड नहीं है। जब देखेंगे सेक्शन 3 ऑफ इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट, वहाँ पे लिख रखा है एक्सेप्ट द आर्बिट्रेटर। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग वाज इंक्लूडेड इन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ एविडेंस अंडर द एविडेंस एक्ट बाय IT एक्ट 2000? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिकॉर्ड। An admission constitute a substantive piece of evidence। Hearsay evidence is no evidence. Which one of the following is an exception to the above rule under the Evidence Act? Section 32। Judge's power to put question or order the production of any document or thing is given in which a section of Evidence Act? Section 165 of Indian Evidence Act. Judge's power to put question or order production। Confidential communication with whom of the following is protected under Evidence Act? To legal advisor। इसके लिए देखना है 129 ऑफ इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट, कॉन्फिडेंशियल कम्युनिकेशन विद लीगल एडवाइजर। सेक्शन 62 ऑफ एविडेंस एक्ट डील्स विद primary evidence। In the absence of substantive evidence, corroborative evidence has no worth। इसके लिए देखना पड़ेगा in the absence of the substantive evidence, corroborative evidence has no worth। हाँ, where a married woman dying or burning was a person of unsound mind and the medical certificate vouchsafed her physical fitness for a statement and not the state of mind at the crucial moment. In which of the following cases the court said that the statement could not be relied upon? Ravi Chandra versus State of Punjab. Under Section 14 of the Evidence Act, the fact showing the existence of state of mind must be specific state of mind. Statement recorded during investigation under Section 161 CRPC can be used during trial for contradicting the witness, whereby a contract of sale the seller purports to effect a present sale of future goods. The contract operates as an agreement to sell the goods. The unpaid seller's right of lien terminates when he delivered the goods to a carrier or other bailey for the purpose of transmission to the buyer without reserving the right of disposal of the goods. When the buyers of his agent lawfully obtain possession of the goods, both A and B. There are exceptions to the rule that a seller of goods cannot give to the buyer a better title than he himself has over them. Which among the following is a wrong exception? Sell without the consent or authority of owner. Which provision of the Limitation Act provides that an appeal from an order can be filed in a high court within 90 days and in another court within 30 days? 116. Which of the following is not covered under Section 6 of Limitation Act 1963? Insolvent. Which of the following provision of the Limitation Act 1963 state that in case of the debt, payment will provide fresh period of limitation from the time of payment? Section 19. Section B of the Specific Relief Act 1963 provides for substituted performance of contract. Which of the following situation have been inserted by the Specific Relief Act in 2018 in Section 41 of the Specific Relief Act 1963 when an injunction cannot be granted if it would impede or delay the progress or completion of any infrastructure project or interfere with the continued provision of relevant facility related thereto or service being the subject matter of such project? Which of the following provision of the Code of Civil Procedure relate to the application of the doctrine of res judicata? 39 का है, इसमें आएगा Section 11 explanation 6. In which of the following proceedings order second rule 2 of the Code of CPC is applicable? Appeals, execution proceedings, petition under Article 226 of the Constitution of India. तो इसमें आएगा none of the above. Which of the following provision of the Code of Civil Procedure prohibit further appeal against the decision of a single judge in second appeal? Section So A. No further appeal in certain cases. An order allowing or disallowing an application for amendment is appealable. A decree and appealable order, none of the above. Among the following properties which shall not be liable for attachment under the Code of Civil Procedure: a mere right to sue for damage. A plaint was rejected under Order 7 Rule 11 of the Code of Civil Procedure for non-payment of a court fee. Remedy available to the aggrieved party is to file an appeal. A decree is preliminary. when further proceeding have to be taken before the suit to be completely disposed of. Second appeal shall not lie from any decree as provided under Section 102 of the Code of Civil Procedure when the subject matter of the original suit is for recovery of money not exceeding रुपए 25,000. 47. Which of the following statement is correct? No decree is to be reversed or modified for error or irregularity not affecting merit or jurisdiction. An appeal shall lie from a decree passed by the court with the consent of parties. An appeal may lie from an original decree passed ex parte. Both A and C. इसके लिए 99 ऑफ CPC देख सकते हैं. If a cloud is cast upon the title or legal character of the plaintiff, he is entitled to seek the aid of the court to dispel it by way of declaratory degree. Declaratory decree. The order of injunction may be discharged or varied or set aside by the court at the instance of plaintiff and defendant, both A and B. Section 10 of CPC bars not only the trial of subsequent suit but also the institution of subsequent suit. This statement is untrue. Section 10 of the Code of CPC, stay of suit. No court shall proceed with the trial of any suit in which the matter in issue is also directly and substantially in issue in previously instituted suit between the same parties or between parties under whom they or any of them claim litigating under the same title, where such suit is pending in the same or any other court in India have jurisdiction to grant the relief claim, or in any court beyond the limit of the India established or continued by the central government and having like jurisdiction or before the Supreme Court. Explanation: the pendency of a suit in a foreign court does not preclude the court in India from trying a suit founded on the same cause of action. Decree means, what is the decree means? Formal expression of the court of an adjudication determining the rights of parties. On the ground of jurisdiction, under section 13 of CPC, can be challenged only a judgment in personam. Which of the following proposition is incorrect? A void contract is void ab initio, where the acceptance of an offer is sent by the offeree by an email. The receipt rule will be applied for the purpose of determining the communication of acceptance as also the place and time of contract. Which of the following proposition is incorrect about the doctrine of frustration of contract? The doctrine of the frustration is applicable when the rights and obligation of the parties arise under a transfer of property under a lease. X owes rupees 10,000 to Y under a contract. It is agreed between XYZ that Y shall henceforth accept Z as his debtor instead of X for the same amount. All debt of X is discharged and a new debt from Z to Y is contracted. This is novation of contract. 62 of ICA. 155 के लिए देख सकते हैं 56 of ICA. Which of the following statement is correct? An agreement enforceable by law is contract. Every promise and every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is an agreement. All agreement enforceable by law are contract and valid, but all agreement are not enforceable by law. All the above. Section 27 of the Indian Contract Act declare an agreement in restraint of trade void. As per the Punjab Court Act 1918. The provision for second appeal is mentioned in 41 section. Which country has become the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender? El Salvador. What is the amount of ex gratia compensation recommended by the central government to be paid to the family members of person who succumbed to uh, COVID-19? ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, जीके वाले क्वेश्चन हैं ये. Which among the following cases deal with the Pegasus surveillance scandal? Manohar Lal Sharma versus Union of India. In which among the following cases the Supreme Court refused to vacate its order allowing women candidate to appear for the National Defence Academy examination this year? In Kush Kalra versus Union of India. Who among the following is the chairman of the Bar Council of India? तो ये अब देखना पड़ेगा. मनन कुमार मिश्रा थे उस टाइम. एक्सपोजर टू सनलाइट हेल्प्स. ये जीके के क्वेश्चन हैं. 68. A dissent in a court of last resort is an appeal to the brooding spirit of the law, to the intelligence of a future day, when a later decision may possibly correct the error into which the dissenting judge believed that the court to have been betrayed. The statement made by Chief Justice Charles Evans Hughes and subsequently cited in a famous Indian dissent by Justice A.N. Roy. नेक्स्ट फिर जीके का क्वेश्चन है. N.V. Raman is the 48th CJI. The boundary line between India and China. जीके का क्वेश्चन है. 74 हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट में पूछा है कि Section 7 of Hindu Marriage Act, marriage must be solemnized in accordance with the customary rites and ceremonies of either bride or bridegroom. The consequence of non-registration of a marriage under Section 8 of the Hindu Marriage Act is marriage is valid but calls for imposition of penalty. Restitution of conjugal rights can be claimed only when the withdrawal from society is without a valid excuse. On the ground of inability to produce a progeny, a marriage can be none of the above. If two persons are related to each other by blood or adoption, not wholly through males, they are called cognates. हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट की 3(1) में दिया है ये. अंडर द हिंदू अडॉप्शन एंड मेंटेनेंस एक्ट 1956, हिंदू कैन अडॉप्ट ए चाइल्ड विदाउट द कंसेंट ऑफ हिज वाइफ प्रोवाइडेड the wife has ceased to be Hindu. Choose the wrong statement. A Hindu who has a Hindu daughter cannot adopt a son. Alienation by the carta without legal necessity of the benefit of estate is voidable at the instant of the co-partner. Proceeding to be in camera and may not be printed or published is provided in section Hindu Marriage Act 1955 का section 22. Which section of the Hindu Marriage Act deals with the custody of children? 26. Desertion is none of the above. Presumption that the younger survived the elder under 21 of the Hindu Succession Act is rebutable presumption of law. Section 14 of Hindu Succession Act. Both movable and immovable property. A Hindu dies leaving behind father and sons. daughter, son. They are class second here. The effect of death of Muslim husband or wife during the period of iddat following irrevocable pronouncement of divorce in inheritance right is both can inherit the punishment for pronouncement of any irrevocable form of divorce by a Muslim husband upon his wife, imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, and fine. Under Muslim law, waqf means permanent dedication of movable or immovable property. इक्यानवे के में ए होगा इंडियन पार्टनरशिप एक्ट where partner upon in anticipation of the dissolution of the firm make an agreement that some of all of them will not carry on a business similar to that of the firm within a specified period of within specified local limits. Such agreement is valid if restriction imposed are reasonable, notwithstanding anything contained in section 27 of ICA. In which of the following situation a public notice is not required to be given under the Indian Partnership Act? It is not in our course when an alteration is made in the name of the firm. An act of a firm means the registering officer may in discretion refuse to accept or registration any document in which any interlineation 94 के में C होगा the person executing the document 95 में D होगा A custom must be immemorial in India. This implies that long uses is sufficient. Ubrima fides means a Latin phrase which means utmost good faith. Persona non grata means person not wanted. A police officer has received a sum of rupees 5,000 against fine from the person violating traffic rules. Instead of depositing the fine money with the state treasury, he utilized the same for his personal use. What offense under IPC he committed? Criminal breach of trust. A hangman who hangs the prisoner pursuant to the order of the court is exempt from criminal liability by virtue of section 78 of IPC. फिर से रिपीट हो गया क्वेश्चन. A beat his wife. She fell down and became unconscious. Believing her to be dead and to save himself from being arrested for murder, A hanged her from the fan with a rope. Postmortem report disclosed her death by hanging. A is liable for culpable homicide. For abduction, the abducted person should be. Abduction can be committed against a person of any age. The case of Bachchan Singh versus State of Punjab is concerned with capital punishment in India. Grave and sudden provocation is question of fact. In case of Nanavati versus State of Karnataka, it was so held that grave and sudden provocation is a question of fact. A voluntarily burns a valuable security belonging to Judd intending to cause wrongful loss to Judd. A has committed the offense of mischief. Public servant disobeying a direction of the law with intent to cause injury is dealt with. Section 166 of IPC. Criminal intimidation by anonymous communication or having taken precaution to conceal where the threat comes is dealt under section 507 of IPC. Judge is thrown from his horse and is insensible. A surgeon finds out the judge requires to be trepaned. A not intending judge's death but in good faith for judge's benefit perform the trepan before judge record his power of judging for himself. A has committed no offense. 92 of IPC देखना है इसके लिए. Voyeurism is punishable under section 354 of IPC. Under section 82 and section 83 of IPC, an offense is punishable if it is done by a child of above 7 years of age but below 12 years, having attained sufficient maturity and understanding. Making a false document or part of a document with any one of the intents specified in section 463 IPC constitute forgery. 463 देखना है इसके लिए. Forgery से related है 463, which was the first case to introduce the concept of judicial review. The feature of concurrent list is borrowed from which country? From Australia. Which was the first case to introduce the concept of judicial review is the Marbury versus Madison of America. Who among the following was the first Chief Justice of Supreme Court during British India? Sir Elijah Impey. Which among the following languages is not there in 8th schedule of Constitution of India? डोगरी, राजस्थानी या फिर सिंधी, मणिपुरी. तो हमें मालूम है राजस्थानी नहीं है शामिल इसमें. 22 लैंग्वेज शामिल है जो कि हैं आसामीज़ है, बंगाली है, बोडो है, डोगरी है, कोंकणी है, मैथिली है, मलयालम है, मणिपुरी है, मराठी है, नेपाली, उड़िया है, पंजाबी है, संस्कृत है, संथाली है, सिंधी है, तमिल है, तेलुगु एंड उर्दू है. In India, sovereignty lies with the people. Under the Constitution, the state shall endeavor to secure for the citizen a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India as per section 44. The satisfaction of the president means the satisfaction of the council of ministry and not his personal satisfaction was held in which case? In Shamsher Singh versus State of Punjab 1974. Article 360 of the Constitution has been invoked. फाइनेंशियली उससे इमरजेंसी से रिलेटेड है जो कि एक भी बार नहीं हुआ है तो दिया जाएगा नेवर. द प्रोटेक्शन एंड इम्प्रूवमेंट ऑफ द इन्वायरमेंट इंक्लूडिंग फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ ऑफ द कंट्री इज. तो ये जो है ये है बोथ डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द स्टेट पॉलिसी एंड द फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी, दोनों ही हैं ये. Secularism is a part of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Is said in which case? In S.R. Bommai versus Union of India case, it was held that secularism is a basic feature. The Constitution does not provide for the post of the Deputy Prime Minister. नाम की कोई पोस्ट नहीं होती है. So जुडिशरी हरियाणा जुडिशरी का पेपर भी कंप्लीट हो गया है. So keep watching and keep sharing. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.